guys, Adam here as per usual, and welcome back to another FAQ Friday. So today, just a real quickie. It's something that I haven't been directly asked, but something I've been sort of considering and wanted to talk about. And that is, do we need to mic up guitar cabs anymore in the studio? So I want to see lots of debate about this going on down below on my Facebook page, etc, etc. Let me know your opinions. Do we need to bother micing up guitar cabs anymore? Here's my take on it. Okay, so in my studio, in my house, I very, very rarely mic up cabs. The time I mainly do it is when I'm doing gear demos or gear videos or something like that. Or if I'm auditioning a piece of gear for my own arsenal, I want to mic it up because I want to hear how that piece of gear, particularly if it's an amp or a speaker or a guitar, even a pedal, I want to hear how that sounds recorded. And try and put that into a live context and a studio context. Most of the time I'm running my guitar into my amp, out of the effects loop, so I'm using the preamp of the amp and bang, straight into sort of the computer, and I'm recording using cab impulses. Why? One, it sounds great. Two, it's much easier. You don't have to worry about mic placement and mic technique. And three, it's very tweakable, so you can use you can audition and use a variety of cabs and mics, different impulses, different speakers even, to hear how they sound within the context of a mix. And then by the time you've EQ'd it, compressed it, etc., you've got like a really unique sounding guitar, really unique sound, very easily. The cons of that, or the pros for using microphones. Impulses don't capture that air sound, so no matter what you do, there's no sound, quite like whacking a couple of mics in front of a speaker that's just cranked immensely loud. The way that the speaker slightly distorts forces that air into the microphone, which again causes the microphone possibly to slightly distort, or at least causes it to react in a certain way. We're just not at a level where we can really truly simulate that sound yet. When you listen to commercial, big budget rock and metal recordings and they've used mics, you can't simulate that sound yet, not to my ears anyway, and not to my liking. It's just a massive, airy, powerful, in-your-face wall of sound of guitars that we just can't simulate. Live, again, you're starting to see a lot more people live, a lot more bands running out of like Palmer PDI-03s or similar sort of speaker or load boxes, speaker emulators into the desk. Again, why? It's much easier and quicker to set up. The sound is going to generally be more consistent from night to night, and it makes the mixing engineer's job, the sound guy's job, a lot easier. There are still a lot of bands and artists out there who are using mics live, but I think very soon it's going to go pretty much exclusively using those load boxes and speaker simulators. So I'm still on the fence. In my own studio, I like to use impulses and run direct as much as I can, because that's easier for me. I can't crank an amp up to 10 and flatten me house, you know what I mean? It just isn't feasible, it's not possible. But I'd like to think that if I went into a pro studio, or if we booked a tour or a few gigs or whatever, I'd like to think that I was given the option to use microphones. And I think if I went into a pro studio to track an album, I would want to use real microphones, something like an SM57 and a Roy R121, the classic kind of combination, smacked up against the speaker. I would probably want that sound, because we can't simulate it yet. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. I really want to see some debate and stuff on this. I'm no sort of pro sound engineer, as you know, so if any of you guys are pros, or if not, just amateurs, I really want to hear your take on this down below. Get in touch guys, thanks for tuning in, and as ever, take it easy.